listening to the Minnesota Pubcast. I'm in Pubcast. I still can't decide which one I like better. I like them both. So
I'm still telling you, I can't wait till we can just get to where it's Pubcast.
The Pubcast of the world.
Exactly.
I'm Molly Burke. I'm here with my co-host, Jason McGovern. And we are live right now, Thursday at 5 p.m. at O'Gara's Bar and Grill in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Hey, last night I underestimated the amount of people that were listening live. So we did have a bunch of people listening live last night, which is cool.
Cool. Did your friends, were they like tweeting out or something?
I know that Shelby's dad, Shelby was on the show last night. Okay. Her dad was listening. We know that for a fact because he was texting her. But other than that, I have no idea.
I'm listening, Shelby.
I never know who's going to be listening as we do the show or not. I'm always assuming you're listening later. But there are some out there right now listening. There
are.
But
I think so.
Not
Where
many.
Are you guys? Tweet at us.
Yeah. Shoot us a tweet or we're not
really.
on Facebook right now.
Tweet at us.
So, okay, since this is this is the first show we've done since I have come up with a little bit more production value. We have a little bit of stuff we can play with now.
Yeah.
We can do a little round of applause for like guests and stuff when they come on, or if you or I say something you hate, you can go. If it gets really, if it gets really tense, there's a. Yeah, so I just wanted you to know I have a new toy. Beware that they will be dropped during the show.
Does this really add?
We'll see. If it starts taking away, the app will disappear from the phone. But for now, you're going to hear a little bit of that every once in a while.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I just have to say my favorite time of the year is here. I think I say that about everything that I get excited about. I'm like, yes, it's Halloween, my favorite time of the year. It's 4th of July. I love 4th of July. It's my favorite time of the year. But the Oscar season, award season, is one of my favorites because I feel like it gets me through the winter.
Okay. Gives you something to look forward to through these cold and depressing months, it's actually some of the nicest weather we've had in weeks today. But
yeah, it's like 34. Events filled with egotistical celebrities. That's what I look forward to in the wintertime.
Yeah, so why does that do it for you? Why do you want to see all these rich people applaud themselves? And don't get me wrong, I like it too, but I just to play devil's advocate.
Okay, well, I first watch it because I really do enjoy movies. I love movies, even though I actually probably see more non-Oscar nominated movies per year than I do Oscar nominated, which is something that I'm gonna as a host of the show now, co-host of the show, I'm going to work on that.
Yep, I think that we owe it to the audience, and I think it's fun.
It is
I just
fun.
love talking about this.
They're all up our alley. Like, we're not into those.
Well, hello, Annie.
Hi, Annie.
How are you doing?
We have a friend here.
Yes, Annie. This is Molly, Annie.
Hi,
Annie from Burnix is here. Are you doing Grand Teton tonight? All right, so people should, if you are one of the few listening live, come on down.
Yeah.
Beer Dabbler tickets for getting them.
Oh, yeah. You can win tickets to the Beer Dabbler and free shuttle or something, too. Did I see something about that?
Free drinks before and free drinks after.
Free drinks, free shuttle. I mean, come on. And that's from what? So now till 8, and then you have to be here at 8 to collect the prize, correct? Okay, I thought I saw that.
Perfect.
So there you go. For those that are listening live, if you're not, you missed it. Way to go. Next time you'll...
And Beer Dabbler is January 24th at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. But this year, there's like an indoor part of it, right? You're like, I don't know. But from what I've read,
It's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super fun.
The
Beer Dabbler is always fun.
Yeah, what are the Grand Tetons you brought? Do you want to come on for a second? No? Oh, wow, she's so scared. I love it. What are the 2 Grand Tetons you brought? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
come
you do
on
that.
back. She...
Oh, nice.
Yes.
See, I told her for you.
Oh, my God. She did something for me.
She is the greatest.
Annie, that's the best.
That's the gal. She brought my friend Joey and I to the Vikings game a few weeks ago, and she's a great gal. And she sells great beer. The Grand Teton stuff is really good, and what else does she do? Oh, now I feel like a jerk because I'm forgetting. She sells at least 3 more brands, and it's good stuff. We get it all the time down at Burger Mo's, and they obviously have it here at O'Gara's as well.
Grand Tetons, and like we said, Beer Dabbler for all you Minnesota people is super fun. Unfortunately, I don't think Jason can't go. He has to work.
So sad.
And because my co-host can't go, I don't know if it's appropriate that I go and get drunk alone. Maybe I'll have friends that go. I don't know. We'll see.
think you should Well, that actually could be pretty good fodder for the show if you did go alone. You should. I mean,
It's Molly Merringer.
you go alone.
Podcast.
No, I think this is it. You go alone, and every 15 minutes you record just 2 minutes.
Oh God. Okay.
And we could. I mean, I guarantee you, after an hour and a half, after about 4 or 5 of those little segments, we would have some gold that we could play
I like
with on
that.
the air.
I like that. Can I just
So.
record it on my iPhone and then we can
Yeah,
play it on
exactly.
here?
Yeah, you can MP3 it from
Okay.
your iPhone, no problem. And if you bring friends too, like you can,
Sure.
I mean, have some fun with it.
I think that's a good idea.
You could, and also don't be afraid to take like a YouTube video. We can always share that kind of stuff with everybody
can.
via social media.
Oh shit. You
See,
gave
I just
me a
made it
bad
fun
idea.
for you.
I get so.
And then you come visit me at Crashed Ice down on West 7th,
Oh my God.
and you just have a St. Paul day, and you just get trashed.
I'm just gonna call you halfway through the beer dabbler. Jason.
Is that how you
Jason.
sound when you're drunk?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think I slur my words. Actually, I think I'm. That's why people never know I'm blacked out. And I'm like, no, I have no idea.
But you're
what
like, no,
happened
really,
last
I'm super blacked out. I know I'm enunciating, but really, I am just tore up right now.
night. Oh my God. Okay.
That's awesome.
We're
But you know what? We were really going off track here. But I am very much like you in the fact that I can be wasted, and 90% of the people around me have no idea, and that's dangerous. Sometimes
Yeah.
you do need a buddy to be able to go, hey, you're kind of you're losing it. Why don't you have a water,
Yeah, time to go home. No one ever tells me to stop drinking. So
No.
that's my problem.
Always encouraging it. And
Right.
you're obviously a fun drunk too. Like I'm a fun drunk. I'm either having a good
So
time
fun.
or I want to sleep. Like I don't get into, unless there's tequila involved, I never get into like where I get angry or something.
Right.
I'm just either I'm hey, this is a great time, and then I pass out.
Yeah.
Like that, there's no in between or no fall off.
You're
or-
ready for bed.
Exactly.
I am too. Okay. so
Anyway.
back to my favorite time of the year. Favorite time of the winter. Favorite time of February.
You were going to say favorite time of the
through-
week, which actually is the way you put
through
it is
April.
probably working, since every week you have something that's your favorite part of the year.
Yeah. Back to Oscar noms. The complete list came out today, January 15th. What's the date? 15th?
It's the 15th. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
And yes, we did kind of talk about this last night, but Molly didn't get her chance to put in her 2
I
cents,
didn't.
and
you
we're
guys
going to allow her to.
And these were predictions. You guys.
Yes, these were not the actual nominees.
So stupid. Okay.
I think Entertainment Weekly was pretty close. They weren't right on for sure, but they were pretty close.
Well, anyone can be pretty close. It's getting there that counts.
Wow.
Okay. So, nominations, obviously, you can have up to 10 nominations at the Oscars, which is awesome. I think that since they expanded it like 3 years ago, whenever that was, totally game changer for the award show.
Why do you like that? I'm not opposed to it.
Well,
but
I think when you were limited to 5, you only were able to encompass like the 5 biggest hard-hitting dramas of the year. You didn't get...
you didn't have room for a couple of others to sneak in?
You didn't have room for weird independent movies. You didn't have room for the one amazing documentary, which hasn't happened yet, but, it might. Or you didn't have room for, the awesome foreign film. Can foreign films be nominated for Best Picture? They should be able to, right? Or do they have to be in the...
I think they're their own category.
Okay.
Well, has there ever been a foreign film to win it? I don't know.
I thought The Artist was foreign, but maybe it's not. Maybe I thought it was French. Maybe it's not.
I don't know.
Anyway, so
Tweet us.
Tweet us if you know the answer. I think it gives more visibility to pictures that deserve it, and that you can see that this year with the nominations. And they only did 8 this year, which is totally fine. They did. Birdman is nominated. Also, that's 9 nominations. And that ties with Grand Budapest Hotel for the most noms.
Are you surprised by Grand Budapest Hotel?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I liked it.
So
I thought it was
lame.
really good, but I mean, the fact that it won the Golden Globe for a comedy or was it for comedy? Yeah, the comedy or musical one. And then it's a good movie. I don't know if I'd say it's great in any way.
I don't think it's, out of looking at all these, I don't think it's Best Picture at the Oscars. I think it was hilarious. I thought it was inventive. You still got that Wes Anderson flair, but something about it was more, the wider population could enjoy it. Mm-hmm. The cast was amazing, as all of his are, but I just really liked it. I thought it was great.
I'm just surprised it got as many nominations as Birdman.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, Birdman, Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Boyhood, American Sniper, which isn't even out yet, Okay.
Comes out Friday.
So that's given it some obviously good press. Whiplash.
Yeah, that's really good timing, right? Don't
Right.
you want your movie to come out right now for Oscars?
Yeah. Yeah. Whiplash, Interstellar. What?
What?
Yeah.
It's
wait,
probably
no.
for cinematography, or
Oh, no.
you're just doing top
I'm doing the
nominations
top
right
noms.
now. Yeah.
American Sniper, Whiplash, Interstellar, Foxcatcher. Okay. List of noms for Best Picture: American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, Grand Budapest, Imitation Game, Selma, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash.
Boyhood should win. Selma's going to win.
Boyhood will win.
Selma's going to win because of the racial stuff going on in the country. It's going to be a political stance type
I'm going
thing.
with Boyhood.
I hope you're right. Boyhood is amazing, and as I was telling you before we started too, the more I think about that movie after seeing it, the more I love it. Like, that movie is so well done.
So Selma really doesn't have. Selma got snubbed
Yes.
for Best Actor
Yep.
and for Best Director. And
it would have been the first time a black woman. They
Yeah.
say African American. I don't know where you stand on that,
I don't know.
but I say black woman.
Whatever
Would have been
you
the first
prefer.
black female to ever be nominated for Best Director, and she was snubbed.
Yep.
And he was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor.
Yeah.
Was she nominated for a Golden Globe? I don't. Did you? You
Yes.
didn't watch the Golden Globes?
Yes, she was.
Was she? Okay.
I think so.
And then Angelina
I did
Jolie
watch
gets
it.
snubbed again.
Well, I'm fine with that.
I am too. I
You're
really
fine.
don't care.
Go do your humanitarian stuff.
There's a lot of people that it seem like that's a big deal. I just don't care. I mean, maybe because I don't know anything about her movie, really.
Okay, but I love the fact that most of the films on Best Picture are original screenplay, and they're also, a lot of them are nominated for original screenplay.
Mhm.
And I love that because we don't get a lot of that anymore.
I mean, because they're usually books or.
They're usually, yeah, exactly. They're
Adaptations.
usually adaptations of something. And don't get me wrong, I love a good book adaptation if they do it right. But you don't get Birdman. You don't get movies like that.
You don't get
anymore.
Boyhood.
You don't get Boyhood.
That's not a book. You can't make that a book.
Wes Anderson is good at making his own original movies. He always has been. So Grand Budapest is kind of the outlier there. Whiplash is another one that's supposed to be incredible with
Yeah.
an amazing performance by J.K. Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another, original screenplay that you just don't get a lot of that anymore. And these are inventive, kind of small, independent feeling films that are making it big time, which I love.
Well, and remember what I said about Boyhood last Thursday? Was that here when we talked about it? I think it was.
Yes.
But when I said that I think you could have done this movie with normally, like you would, where the cast changes, or at least the children would, it then becomes a 12-year-old actor, and then it becomes a 14-year-old actor, and it's a different one playing the same kid. Now, just in thinking about it, watching a little bit of stuff about it, reading a little bit about it, I have grown to appreciate watching that kid grow up. You really do. And it's something,
deal.
I mean, even just, I was watching the music video, which we're going to come back with, we'll bump back with that song that's kind of the theme of that movie. But even in the music video, you see the kid as a little kid, and then you do watch the progression in just in that 2.5-3 minute song, and it's so cool. What a crazy idea, and the fact that they bought into it was such a cool idea.
Well, and then it worked.
Yep.
It's not easy to make something conducive
That could have easily
over 12
sucked.
years. Yeah, absolutely. That you're like, well, this feels really disconnected
Yeah.
and strange, and like you just like kind of stitched a bunch of shit together. The things that were left out of Best Picture were Into the Woods, Foxcatcher. This is Washington Post opinion. Into the Woods, Foxcatcher, Unbroken, and A Most Violent Year. I don't know what to think about any of those.
I don't either.
Foxcatcher, I love the cast, and Foxcatcher, the one thing was a lot of the cast, the big cast members were nominated. Steve Carell, Mark Ruffalo, they were both nominated, and they have amazing performances, so I find that interesting that it was not nominated.
Yeah.
Because it could have been, it fits. It could have been 9, so I don't know what the deal with that was.
Yeah, well, maybe Foxcatcher isn't a great movie. It's a great, it's a set of great actors.
Sure.
With great roles.
Sure.
Doesn't make it a good movie necessarily, or a great movie. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't
Let's go see
make
it.
that quote, but that would make sense to me. You can still have a
Right.
great acting performance in a so-so movie.
Or a good movie. That's
Right,
not,
but still not Best Picture worthy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actor in a leading role, Steve Carell, Bradley Cooper. Steve Carell for Foxcatcher, Bradley Cooper for American Sniper, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Imitation Game, Michael Keaton, Birdman, Eddie Redmayne, who won the Golden Globe for The Theory of Everything, and Michael Keaton won the Golden Globe as well. Eddie Redmayne, love that guy. He's super cute. He's super attractive. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen The Theory of Everything. It looks like a really good performance.
Yeah. Well, Tim brought up on the show last night how it's he went through a physical transformation.
Yeah,
and that
he
might have been
did.
enough to get the win on that.
Absolutely. I mean, it was like you look at him just in the trailer from what I've seen, and you're like, oh wow, that really looks like Stephen Hawking. And American Sniper obviously comes out this Friday.
Well, now what are you hearing? Okay, I'm surprised that American Sniper is getting so much praise from what's considered, liberal Hollywood. It's from what I get from the previews, it looks like it's kind of rah
pro-American
a little bit.
Kind of glorified.
Definitely glorifying him, making him look like a fighter for American freedom, and that line in the trailer where he says, I'm ready to face my maker for every shot I took, or something like that. It's something like it makes him look like he must have been an American hero. And what I've read about him in the press doesn't make him sound like he's how they're going to portray him in that movie. He may have not have been a great person.
Sure. I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see the movie. I really do want to see it because the trailers are super intense.
Yes.
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, when I look at the trailer, it looks like the trailer for American Sniper. Like, that's what he was. You see people being blown up. You see him crying. You see... He was a person. He wasn't, he had a family. He wasn't
But you'd admit, though, it doesn't look like a Hurt Locker, right? Like, Hurt Locker was almost an anti-war, or at least like an anti-crazy soldier thing to me.
I don't know. I mean, just by him kind of sitting there crying over what he has to do, or what he's going to do, or been ordered to do, that doesn't look very pro-war to me.
Sure.
I don't know. I'll have to see it.
Yep. We will have to see that one. We'll comment on that one next week for sure.
It just looks intense. And I do like Bradley Cooper. So.
That'll be our homework assignment, besides my assignment of seeing Mean Girls and yours of seeing Boyhood. We should both see that by next week.
We have 8 hours of movies to watch this weekend.
That's all.
Okay. And obviously, David Oyelowo. I don't know how to say his name.
I tried to say it last night. I gave up. That sounds good. I'll roll with it. The guy who played MLK. We can call him that.
Selma. He was snubbed. So. Too bad.
No, and I mentioned to you about the possible Royce saying something about LBJ was misportrayed. Have you seen or heard anything else since then?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I haven't either. So.
I haven't. No.
Royce might have just had a senior moment for all I know.
No.
I probably shouldn't say that in this room. There's a lot of seniors.
There are a lot of seniors.
Yeah,
that's
they're all looking at me.
Crew tonight. We got a cool. I don't know what's going on, but it's a nice. Oh, they're making a speech. I know. Shit, what is this? Actress in the leading role, Marianne Cotillard.
Listen to you.
I know, it's French or something. She's beautiful. I love her.
Why can't I picture her in my head right now?
She's in Inception. She's Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Inception.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah,
and she's in Big Fish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, oh my gosh.
Sure. I've seen Big Fish for like a decade, but...
That's one of my favorite movies of all time, though.
It's a good movie.
She's one of the most gorgeous women ever.
She's beautiful.
To grace the screen.
Is she an Ewan McGregor? I do like Ewan McGregor. I'm being really thrown off by this meeting going on here. They're giving a speech, and I'm kind of like, do we talk over the speech? Or do we let it kind of just run on the show and you guys can listen?
Well, here's the thing, too. We can hear ourselves a lot better than they can.
We can.
Like, just for instance, if we took our headphones off right now and we talked like this, we probably wouldn't be able to hear each other.
No,
so
I agree.
I think we're okay.
I think we're okay.
Yeah, we were here first, damn it.
Felicity Jones, who I love as well, she was in The Theory of Everything.
What else is she in?
Not much. So
okay,
I just saw her in a movie called, and now I forgot what it was. It was a British romantic comedy. No, actually it was just a kind of romantic drama. And it was really sad, and she was amazing, and she's like this gorgeous, like really subtle actress, and I loved her. And so I do want to see Theory of Everything for that.
Absolutely.
I do really like her.
I think that's just going to be a great movie, and that's one of the most interesting human beings to ever live.
Yeah,
so good
absolutely.
story.
Julianne Moore, still Alice, who won Golden Globe. Rosamund Pike, Gone
and she's
Girl.
Apparently the favorite right now.
Yep. Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl, who made that movie, I think, and Reese Witherspoon for Wild.
I'm going to add Gone Girl to my homework over the week.
Yeah, it's worth it.
I got to see that.
And the snub was...
And you loved Wild, right?
Yeah, but I like...
Is it Best Actress worthy?
Okay. No. And the snub was obviously Jennifer Aniston, who I think really wanted it for Cake, and I kind of wanted her to be nominated too, at least nominated. And then Amy Adams, who won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in Big Eyes, but was not nominated. So, and I have no interest in seeing that movie, by the way.
No.
It gives me I do not care. I don't know.
I don't even think I've heard anything about it really.
So anyway, those are kind of the big ones. We won't go super into it, but
you
know.
didn't mention the one of the headlines I've been seeing all over today is that
Well,
they're all white. Everybody you just mentioned.
I know, but then I was thinking back, and besides David, Mr. whatever his name is, who played MLK, who. Okay, so
the director too.
The director.
This is we're including best
so
actor,
Ava
supporting actor,
DuVernay,
and director.
who is the black female director of Selma, was snubbed as well. I'm just trying, like, I don't mean to like feign ignorance here, but I can't think of anyone else that I would want in here. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's where.
Thank you so much.
Well, you made a great point right there,
I
and
did.
that was not me hitting a sound effect, folks. No, and again, I love to rail on liberal Hollywood, but I think they'd love a reason to put a black person up there or a person of color or whatever.
I mean, I would too. I don't want someone up there just because.
It shouldn't be token.
Right. I don't want it to be token. They're amazing actors and directors and cinematographers.
But the problem is it seems that the guy from MLK, since we can't pronounce his name, that's what I'll call him, probably did at least deserve a nod, though. It sounds like it was a good enough movie and a good enough acting job.
And
so
it
is odd that they snubbed him on it.
I know. Well, I think they put in Bradley Cooper, or that looks like the one that was kind of added in was Bradley versus David. So.
Are you a big Bradley Cooper fan?
Yeah, I like Bradley Cooper.
I am a huge fan.
I've always liked Bradley Cooper.
Ever since Silver
Wedding
Linings.
Crashers?
Well, Wedding Crashers, yes. That's maybe a really underrated role, by the way, because he can be so likable as a character and then be that. I mean, and even in The Hangover, he's a jerk too. So he can do the spectrum, and I also definitely always agree that if you can be funny, you can also do drama. And that's he's got it all. He's a very good actor. I enjoy watching him.
So for that, I don't want it to be a token. I mean, there's no one that's deserving of it. Unfortunately, nowadays, still not nowadays, forever, Hollywood has been run by rich white people, and. I don't know what we can do to change that. You can have an amazing movie like Selma. I think that it was snubbed. I think that's a little screwed up. But do I think it was snubbed because they're black? No, I don't think so. I think there was some legitimate reason for not putting them on there. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know what the Academy was thinking. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely being ignorant about this. I
think they like to be proud of their snubs sometimes too, though. Like they like to kind of go, you know what, that one you're not ready yet. Like to the director, which there's some are saying she should have been nominated, or to him. I mean, what else has he done? Sometimes they make you wait.
The little, the 5-year-old Quivanzi Wallace from Beast of the Southern Wild, which was an incredible movie, by the way, and she was incredible in that movie, and she deserves to be nominated. So it's like there's sometimes like I don't understand their rhyme or reason, and I wish that I could sit down with someone and just ask them,
Yes, I do agree that there either is too much thinking into it or not enough, or nowhere near enough.
Right, and
I think they overthink it probably, if anything.
You think?
If that's their only job. I mean,
what's your job? I watch movies and I vote on them at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they being filtered, these movies? Do they have to watch just kind of all the big ones that go through the big?
There's the dirty side of Hollywood, probably. Think of how many good movies are made that are never seen.
Producers that
they're never even seen.
People's hands.
Yeah, and that's just it. Is once you have a movie that's in now.
You mean Tyler Perry's not paying enough?
But no, all of these movies that are up for Best Picture right now are going to campaign now. What does that even? The art's already there.
I don't know.
What do you campaign? The campaigning is bullshit. I get it, because if you do win Best Picture, that movie's looked at for years and years, and always, is always held in esteem. But I don't know. I don't understand the Academy. That's what it comes down to.
Academy, we don't understand you.
No, we're amongst millions and millions and millions of Americans that do not understand the Academy.
But you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, like I am, which is super unlike you.
That's true. I'm the cynic here, and
they've
saying
definitely thought through this, and rather than just throwing the racist card at them.
Well, again, though, if this was the NRA was the group where we're talking about this, then I think there's an easier deal to maybe say that racism is involved. But when you're talking about such a liberal group, in Hollywood. They're not doing it because they're racist.
Right.
Or they're so covertly racist that nobody knows it, and maybe that is what it is. But that's not the direction I'm going with it.
The one other thing I was really upset about was, I'm not really upset, I'm not like heartbroken.
Yeah, you sound pissed.
But Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross were left off of the original score for Gone Girl.
Oh, I forgot they did that. Yeah.
It was like their score for, first of all, Social Network, which they won for, was such a massive part of what made that movie amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Gone Girl. Gone Girl was so moody and so amazing, and they fit Fincher's cinematography to a T, like his directing style to a T, and they're so good at it. And I'm like, oh man, they make those movies.
Now that's a weird snub too. Why would they be snubbed?
I don't know. They said that Gary Gershon for Mr. Turner was added in. That kind of popped up instead, but I don't really know anything about that, so we can't talk about that.
You wanna talk chivalry?
Wait,
the death of?
Can we play the little sound clip
Which one?
of her reading the nominations?
Oh shoot! I don't have that up. Oh, I can grab it real quick though.
Yeah, grab it really fast.
Or no, we can't play it from the computer anymore. We gotta do that. I can do it on here.
Okay.
Don't yell at me.
Dude, so intense. So when they were reading off the nominations today, the poor woman, and I don't even know her name. That's probably best that we don't know her name.
Well, her name's gonna be known now.
Because she had the biggest job is to read off all the announce all the Oscar noms to the world, and she.
I have to type in this address. Sorry, people. I'll get it.
She totally screwed up, and it was kind of almost like, what's his face, John Travolta's screw up from last year's Oscars, where he called Idina Menzel.
What did he call her? That wasn't whatever he said was nowhere near her name.
Idina Menzel. He called her Adele Nazim. And it's like, dude, are you not given your 2-sentence long script before you go out there? And
wouldn't you glance at that?
Do you not look her up and make sure that you know exactly what you're talking about? I don't understand when people go out there unprepared. I don't get it.
Didn't work.
It's so, so disappointing.
That link won't work.
Anyway,
God damn it.
She instead of saying Dick Pope, she said Dick Poop.
And it's so,
super funny.
and as you pointed out earlier, it's so she nailed all of these very difficult words.
Oh my god.
And then
nailed all the
that.
Eastern European names ever.
Yes.
Like that I would never be able to say. And then Dick Pope comes up. It's 8 letters, 2 words.
I said earlier I didn't think that I thought it was nowhere near as bad as Travolta's, but now that I think about it, the name he had to read was still way more difficult.
It was.
He just butchered it in such a way that was just no other human being would have ever done that.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, since I can't get you the audio, we will let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back and discuss the death of chivalry, and we'll do that in just a moment. Well, literally in about 15 seconds, right here on the Minnesota Pubcast.
Hi, I'm Terry Daniel, and I've been a voice actor in Minneapolis for over 2 decades now. How often are you getting compliments on your voice? Now is the time to do something about it. If you're interested in getting into voiceovers, please contact me via my website at universalvoicetalent.com.
Are you a fan of this one?
Yeah. What?
Do you know the song really?
I do. I play it on guitar.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the songs.
I hate you.
Why?
I'm so jealous of anyone who can play guitar, and I know I could learn, but I haven't.
You can learn. I've only been playing for maybe 6 months. I've been playing on and off for a few years, but for the last 6 months, I've dedicated a lesson once a week, and then I try and practice 4 times a week.
Do you have a nice guitar?
I do. That
matters.
I have a Fender acoustic. It's kind of cool.
That's gonna be pretty decent.
It's really pretty sound. It's cool because all of the tuner, the tuning knobs, are on one side, so it kind of looks like the neck, and the tuner looks like the tuning knobs. Look, I don't even know what they're fucking called when I play guitar. They're
I'm
all
not
on
gonna be
the
able to
left
help you.
side, so it kind of looks like a cool Fender electric.
Yeah.
But then the body is an acoustic. It's really a pretty guitar. It is.
Can I ask you what it cost?
I got it at Guitar Center. It was originally like $600, and I got it for $250 to $300 because it was used.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And having a used guitar, I don't think is a bad thing either.
No, not at all, because it's a little worn in. It's kind of like a violin. Oh my God! So I was in band all growing up because I'm a nerd, and
I like how you kind of whispered that like nobody knew.
I know, right? Well, it's not a secret. This woman came in and she was telling us about her job as a professional violinist in the Minnesota Orchestra. Mm-hmm. Do you know how much violins cost?
Oh, well, I know that there's ones that are worth millions. Why can't I think of the name of those? The
Vivaldis. Well, I think they're Vivaldis.
It's a longer word than that.
Okay.
No, it's Stratofeast.
Okay, let's not embarrass ourselves.
Hey, tweet us.
Yeah, tweet at us. Oh my God, it's not Vivaldis. I don't know what Vivaldi is. Is that a painter? Okay, anyway.
Stradivarius. That's what it is.
I don't think that's right.
Stradivarius. I swear to God. Anyway, continue. I'm gonna Google.
Okay, she came in, and I obviously had no concept of what things cost at 15. Because your parents buy you everything, and like until you have to get a job, and you're like, oh, I get it now. My gas costs $20 to fill my tank, and however year that was. Anyway, her
Stradivarius is like international women's clothing.
Okay, that's not it.
Fuck. All right, anyway.
It cost her $250,000 to buy this violin. So you essentially have to take out like the equivalent of a mortgage on it.
Jesus. And when you have to have insurance.
Absolutely. And like when you travel, you have to have an insane amount of insurance just for getting on the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Can
you imagine checking that thing?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Why? Do we know why they thought? Did you ask?
Well, like a guitar, they always sound better when they're older.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so, hers was very, very old, like hundreds of years old.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's even older ones than that, but
then it's also the best made, probably, and it's a certain type of wood and all of that kind of stuff.
Right, and exactly, and it's like these beautifully old instruments played in like Mozart's era, and they just get better with time. And and if you're a professional musician, that's what you do for a living. Well, sure, why not, right?
Thank God you don't need $250,000 items for a podcast, or this thing is never fucking started.
I think you need some insurance.
Okay, so let's start. Before we get to chivalry, we got to start with the do women do it on purpose? And I loved your reaction to this. And this is where it's going to start. I'm not going to name any names or anything.
Is this a new segment that we're doing?
It may turn into that. It's going to depend. This might blow, and we'll never do it again. But if I can come up with other instances after this that are different, yeah, maybe we will. But okay, so I'm hanging out with a couple of friends, both gals. One of the two I have like always kind of dug ever since I met her. Like, she's a friend of a friend. I met her through this other girl.
Does she know this?
And she knows it. Yeah, she knows that I'm interested in her too. But she's kind of got a boyfriend right now that lives out of state. Blah blah blah. Well, now I got specific enough that anybody listening will know who it is. But anyway.
Slow your roll, buddy.
Yeah, I know. This is great. No, God, I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen. Thank God. So we're about to go out and hit the bars one night, and it's the other friend is in the other room, in her room or whatever, getting ready, and we're out in the living room, and she does one of these, and I can't wait to hear your reaction to this. Anyway, so she does one of these deals where she goes to like grab something out of her purse on the other side of the room. Okay, there's not a degree of bend in her knees, and her ass is facing directly toward me. I mean, that's a straight on angle, and like I said, the knees don't bend a single bit. And this gal's got a nice tush, like, she knows it, like, obviously, she knows it, she knows what she's doing. But that's the question. So the question here is, and there's other things, and maybe we'll get to it, but is she conscious of that when she's doing it? Or is she just completely oblivious to the world?
I don't know her.
Well, no, I'm saying in general, what do you think? Do women just do that kind of stuff all the time, subtly to fuck with men? Or do we just, like, maybe want to believe they are? I don't know. I think we're so egotistical that we think everything's about us. But that's why, hence the question. From what I described, what do you think may or may not have been taking place?
I think the things that we do on purpose are like things that they probably wouldn't even notice. At least in
Sorry about the pop there, but I think I know what you mean.
I'd be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do this, and he's gonna like notice me, and then it's just like nothing. At least for me. And then there's times when like I don't plan to do anything, and someone notices something. I don't know. I mean, maybe she did do it on purpose. I mean, I've definitely done things like that before, but I'm not like most people. I really don't give a shit about.
See, and I'm leaning toward she wasn't even thinking about it because I don't think she's. I know for a fact she wouldn't have like done it to like try to seduce me. Like she's not. She knows that that's already an option. She doesn't have to do any work for it. So my cynical mind goes, is she just being that big of a bitch that she's like being a tease? Like what is that?
Asshole. No,
I hope not.
That's
why I like this girl. That's why I'm. God. That's why I'm asking. I don't want to believe these things.
Just because someone's a tease doesn't mean they're a bitch.
Well, there's fine line. God, I love that look on her face.
God, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're disgusting.
That should be a name of a segment. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, look at it. We got beer.
Oh, boy. Now, what is this?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh,
Pursuit of Happiness. It's a good movie. No.
It's a Will Smith movie. It's a lot of drinking.
Happiness.
A lot of drinking.
We're talking about whether women do things on purpose.
To mess with men. Well, and it depends on what the topic is, but of course they do in some ways.
Jason, I think you're thinking way too into it.
All right.
Like the girl leaned down to get her cell phone out of her purse.
God. All right. I hope that's true. But
Thank you. Yes.
Now,
what did
we bring for Molly here?
So she brought me some cider. Some beer. It's a Sonoma cider from. She doesn't care. She's fine. She's cool with us.
Annie, we had a brewery that doesn't even serve here. Come in and bring us beers. They don't care.
They don't care.
It's part of the show.
They're happy
part of the
to
show.
have you in.
They love us.
They're happy. They're happy with you here.
Well, they love you anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna try this new cider.
Do you got a turnout over there? Well, that's weird. I was just trying to determine whether or not this girl was messing with me when she did a certain thing, or if it was just all in my head. And Molly has told me that it was all in my head. So
she bent over to get something out of her purse without bending her knees.
At all. Completely ass toward me. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're on the air.
This is how we do it. Very nonchalant.
We're nonchalant and spacey.
See, Annie's got my back.
Yes?
Annie's got my back. She thinks she did it on purpose.
Oh, wow.
See, it's vindicated. Now I feel so much better. Thank you.
I mean, I sometimes do certain things, but it's only around people I really want their attention.
Well, until Annie, though, your first reaction was that you do things all the time trying to that go unnoticed. Well, not all the time. I don't mean not all the time. But I'm saying that if you would assume actually when you do that it would just usually go unnoticed.
Yeah, I mean I do things
because we're stupid, man.
I do things where I'm like I feel like I'm really pretty or like looking a certain way, and then they're just like, what are you doing? Like what are you looking at? Like. What,
and then you're in sweats and a t-shirt, and the guy can't keep his hands off you. Right?
Sure.
Yeah. It's.
And I feel disgusting, and they're like, oh, don't leave. I just want to make out. I'm like what? But I'm disgusting, It's like it's a very different frame of mind.
You never know what the other one's thinking.
I've definitely bent over before in someone's face, so maybe she did. You dirty bitch.
Thank you. Yes.
No,
she's goes full circle.
I'm totally kidding.
I
would never call anyone a dirty bitch for teasing someone.
I didn't call her a dirty bitch. I just called her a bitch.
You called her a bitch.
I didn't say dirty though.
Yeah, but
dirty would be adding that's making it worse. No, she's good. She can handle herself anyway. In meaning that if she heard every single thing we just said, she'd laugh. Like she'd be sitting right there laughing about it.
Which means that she did it on purpose. Right there.
See?
That statement. This cider that I'm drinking is really good, by the way.
And the Pursuit of Happiness from Grand Teton is an amazing beer.
Also great.
I love it. Is this 10%? I'm going to play hockey after this. Okay, all right.
It'll numb the pain.
Well, numb the cold.
Numb the pain and
actually,
numb the cold of the hockey.
What is it out
like
there
30,
right now?
30 degrees.
It's actually perfect hockey weather. I'm kind of excited.
Is your background your nephew? Or
yes, it is.
Okay, no, I thought it looked like the boy from Boyhood for a minute, and I was like, you're getting a little.
I'm a little obsessed if that's the case. Yes.
Getting really into that movie. Have you seen Boyhood yet? Me either.
It's a fantastic movie. Best movie of the year by far. All right.
She's going to get a beer. Okay. Moving on.
32 degrees right now. It's perfect. All right. So now more on the dating chicks angle. Found this from Elite Daily. I don't even know what that is. You?
Yeah, Elite Daily.
I know I've heard of it.
It's kind of like a thought catalog type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's the thing is called 9 everyday gestures that make girls melt.
Oh God, and I hate that phrase.
I do too.
I hate it. So icky. It's like, ugh.
I don't want to talk to a girl that just melts when you do something
Icky.
like this. Like, yeah, it's icky.
It's super icky.
Really, really icky. And I love that word, by the way, icky. So I guess the way I'm looking at this is I want to see you're younger, I swear as we go here, this is less and less. Like, and I think it's because women don't necessarily expect it or even maybe necessarily want it. So I want to get your take on, like, say for instance, opening doors. Is that first date? If guy doesn't open door for you, is he losing points already?
I wouldn't even notice.
See, that's scary to me. Like,
I think that's just a polite thing to do as a human. Like, if I were to walk in the door first, I would hold the door for him. I mean,
you would hold it and let him go?
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like a pull-out door.
I would open it and I would
and
hold
you would
it
save it for right. But I'm saying the guy should
but I'm always
open it for you.
I'm always one step ahead of someone. Like, I'm always one step ahead of them. I'm always moving forward. Like, I'm more like I like to just be a little more in control.
If you and I ever went on a date, we'd be racing to the door then, because I always try to get that extra step to get in front of her to open the door, because that's just what you do. But honestly, I open car doors too.
So I shouldn't dismiss this. I think that's a really nice gesture. If I got to the door first and I opened it, I wouldn't be like, why weren't you walking faster? I mean,
and I think that's what's changing. It's just, it used to be you would almost be offended if the guy didn't, and now it's kind of like,
I think
it's like paying Dutch or going Dutch when you pay.
I think it's
kind of
really
like that.
nice, and I think. And if he gets to the door first, I would love him to open the door for me. And you know what? That still happens to me most of the time. I will say that. I don't have very often where men don't hold the doors for me.
Have you ever had them, like, just let it swing right on you?
No, I haven't. I don't.
Just hit you right in the ass.
People are generally really polite about doors in Minnesota.
That's true. We are pretty good at that. Like, every time you go to the gas station, there's always almost somebody holding it for someone. Yeah. I've noticed.
The gas station.
I don't know why that's the place, but because like Target has automatic doors. Like, there's a lot of places where it's just not necessary anymore.
Sure.
But I feel like that's a place where multiple people are walking in and out all the time.
Yeah,
so
I don't get it slammed. I don't ever, women or men, they don't. And women more so will kind of let the door go on me.
And again,
not in a mean way. They're just like moving faster or whatever. I'm moving faster and I get out and I don't really care.
And there are times where if there's a gal and she's 20 feet behind me and it's cold or something, I'll hold the door.
Sure.
But if it's a guy and if I can go, if I walk through this door and let it go right now, it would completely shut before he even gets here. Yep, no, I'm done. Like, I don't hold it for him.
Right.
So, same sex thing. That's funny that even gals do that to each other. They're like, screw that.
But I probably do it to a guy too.
Yes, yeah. So that's the difference.
If there's a girl right behind me, of course I'm gonna wait. But if it closes before she gets there, I'm out.
Right.
For anyone.
Saving the last bite of food.
Oh God.
I've never done. And they're saying that, and again, this is things that melt a girl's heart.
Yuck.
Why would saving the last bite
of your dirty food? Your fork has touched that for like 20 minutes. Like, I don't want it. Like, just eat your food.
Well, if it's the dirty fork, though, you're going to make out with this guy if it's a good date later on. The fork doesn't, that's not the part that messes me up.
I don't want to eat anyone's last bite of food.
Yeah, especially last bite, because it basically seems, it's like the last sip of a soda.
Oh, yuck. The last chug of milk.
Yes. Oh,
yuck.
Okay, spending time with your family. If he shows interest, shows interest in your baby photos, coaches your little brother on how to throw a football, compliments your mother's cooking. These are things that say that the guy's in it for the long haul.
Well, yeah.
Duh, kind of.
I don't know. These are small
have you ever
gestures?
dated a guy that was like, I don't want to go around your family? Like, there was anti...
I don't have serious boyfriends. You know this.
I know, but I'm just saying, you have, though, right? Like, your last serious boyfriend, did he go to, like, holidays and stuff?
No.
Okay. Was that a problem for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big problem for me.
So this is something that matters.
Yeah, it absolutely matters. That's a huge... I'm not like the type of person that like my best friends or my siblings and some people really spend a lot of time with their family, and I do too. I talk to my family quite often. They're very close to me, but I'm not like within 2 weeks I need to introduce them. You know, like, oh, you need to get in with my family. At some point it becomes very important to me. But that's just kind of like an obvious. Like, that's what you do when you move forward in a relationship, is you start going to family functions together.
It's just kind of being a grown-up.
Right. Like, they don't need to come together right away. I don't even think they need to come within the first 6 months.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things where why expose the guy or gal to the parents or vice versa unless you know it's worth it. Like, what's the point? Yeah.
And that's why I think maybe with serious relationship with me, I would never push it, because I've never felt at a place where I'm like, all right, like, this is stable enough where I can bring them over with, you know?
Okay. So, because I'm crazy, I fall in love right away.
God.
Yeah, it's disgusting almost, but I'm sure my last 2 serious girlfriends met my mom within a month.
Oh my God, Jason.
Because I fall in love.
Slow your roll.
I fall in love. And I mean, both these relationships lasted a couple years. It's not like we broke up 2 months later either, you know. So it wasn't the waste.
Fall in love's a little strong.
No,
like,
I'm telling
have
you.
a really hardcore crush and care about someone. I don't.
Well, okay, last girlfriend, we worked together for like 6 or 9 months before we ever dated. So once we started dating, we already knew each other for a while, and then, I fall head over heels. That's how it goes.
You're such a sap.
That's why when I break up, I just go into depression for a while too.
It's okay, I understand that, but.
Suffering through a girly movie. Do you
No.
want to date a guy that's going to watch The Notebook with you?
No. I don't even want to watch The Notebook with them.
Do you want to watch The Notebook?
No. I don't know. Notebook's fine.
No, but okay, but yeah, you
don't
want to sit and watch sappy girl movies.
Do that with me. Like, let's go to a sweet movie that we're both gonna enjoy. Why would I make you sit through something that you're gonna fucking hate?
And that's why we get along, is because we just have good taste. Neither one of us would want to watch a shitty movie and expose the other, to expose a significant other to something.
And that's the thing. I'm not gonna date someone with bad taste.
Exactly.
My boyfriend must have great taste, and that's why sometimes it's hard to break up with people for me, because they have really great taste. I'm like, God, you have such good taste in books and music, and movies. You care, and I'm like, well, with my most serious relationship, I love his taste in things. I love it. I'm like, it's great. Anyway, keep going.
Sending flowers, and this is saying the random flowers, not the expected birthday, Valentine's Day. You don't think that's a big deal?
No.
Do you ever want him to show up at the office?
No.
And so all the other girls can be jealous and all that shit?
No.
See, I think here's where, again, I think you're being abnormal. I think a lot of chicks love this stuff. No, that's a compliment. But I think there are a lot of girls that eat that shit.
The amount of stuff that I see on Facebook and wherever about, I'm the luckiest girl in the world, and look at what my boo dropped off. My boo.
Or bae.
Yeah, no one really
says
that on my feed, but I do see a lot of flowers, and it's like, God, can you just keep? And then that's great. I think that's super sweet. That's really nice. Like, I'm not gonna be disgusted if they send me flowers, but why do you have to post it to fucking social media? Like, what are you proving?
But that's what sending them to the office. Sending them to the office was the Facebook equivalent, or the equivalent of the Facebook picture before Facebook.
Right.
Because a guy doesn't send them to the woman's office because he wants her to be happy because she got flowers. He knows it'll make her happy because all the other gals in the office are going to talk about it, and then she gets attention.
She's
basically.
So lucky.
Right.
It's so
it's
gross
so
to
fake.
Me. It's so gross.
And the last time I sent flowers was to a gal, happy birthday, actually, to this gal, so it would have been a year ago, I think. And I sent them to her apartment. They're really expensive, a nice set of flowers.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have sent them to her, and I know where she works. I'm not going to send them to her work. That's so awkward. And again, it's only for brownie points. You're not doing it to be a good boyfriend. You're doing it so that everyone else thinks you're a good boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
It's gross.
I'd rather receive really just kind words or let's go out to breakfast, or I want to make you breakfast, or something that's just more intimate between us. I like that. I'm not saying I don't ever want to be shown PDA, and I don't ever want someone to keep all of our intimate feelings secret. I think that's sweet when someone shows love for you in front of other people.
Okay.
I think that's nice, but I don't think it's really proving anything if you send them flowers for everything.
I think Okay, you may have gathered this by now. I am not romantic. But
you fall in love with everyone? That's super weird.
I know. But the most romantic thing I think I've ever done, and that's why I'm curious to hear what you think of this too. It goes more along the line of what you're saying, because it didn't cost money. What are you throwing shit for? But one time I had a key to my ex-girlfriend's apartment, and she was gone, and I probably used like half a Post-it note stack thing and just left little notes like in her cupboards and like so like seriously every time she'd open a new thing she'd see something like saying hey, love you or whatever, just you're sweet, whatever.
That's cute.
And so that's
cute.
That's like the only thing romantic I've ever done, I think.
Oh, well, okay.
But okay, so at least
I don't
that
know.
was one of those things where it has meaning, right? And it's not
and I've never been with
for
anyone
anybody
who's
else.
super romantic, so I've like talked myself in. I've probably talked myself into this like it's okay to not be romantic thing when I'd probably really appreciate some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Where I'm like,
your standards go down.
Oh, totally.
That's what it is.
Totally. I'm like, oh.
And life does that to you.
Fucking annoying when people do that. And then I'm like, and then what happened to me? I'm like, oh, all right.
That was actually really awesome.
That was really cute.
Now I see why everybody loves that.
So thoughtful, but it doesn't have to be a big thoughtful thing. It doesn't have to be a big thoughtful thing. It just has to be a little
subtle things are sometimes, I agree, are sometimes actually better.
Yeah, I'm not sappy either. So even like the really sweet, I'm thinking about you.
I think this one right here is one that you're going to think is just dumb as hell, actually. But I do it. The walking outside of the gal when you're walking down the street. You walk on the traffic sign.
I never even heard of that before.
God, see?
Like, Jason, this is what... I never even thought of that. I would never be like, you should walk on the outside of the sidewalk. But you know what I do? It's really sad. I do that with my dog.
What, do you protect them, you mean? Like you walk on the...
I would feel much more calmer if Oliver walked on my right side.
Yeah, so he's away from the street. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would never make a guy do that for me.
And you would do it with a child, probably.
Yeah.
Right? You walk down the street hand in hand with a little 2-year-old, 3-year-old or something. You're going to keep them on that side, I would think. And actually, as I say this now, it's a little condescending. You're walking with another adult human being, and you're saying, look...
Well, it's like
you're
the whole,
not
I'll
smart
take a
enough
hit
to
for
know
you.
that there's cars coming down the street here. I'll get in between you and them.
But that's the whole thing about today's dating is like things like this are considered condescending, and things like this are considered. And I'm not saying I agree with that or don't agree with that or I think that's a good thing or bad thing that things are changing. I struggle with it because some of these things I think are really sweet and nice, but I don't think they're necessary.
But like the holding the door thing, I could see a lot of chicks just being like, I can open my own door.
Right, I can do that myself, and I think, oh my God, I'm about to say we're putting a lot of pressure on men, but there are these, there are women out there who really appreciate things like this, and I would appreciate it, but I don't think it's a necessity. For me, it's more of like an equal partnership. That's like kind of what I'm looking for, is like someone who I know cares about me and who I care about them and who we have an open communication, we're loving, but it doesn't have to be these kind of classic forms of what are we calling this?
Well, chivalry.
Chivalry, sure.
But and chivalry implies male taking care of female, right?
Sure.
And I think for at least thousands of years, it's been set up where women, maybe even whether they wanted to or not, depended on men to take care of them.
Yeah.
And now in the age of, feminism and women, in the workplace and career women, and it's a whole different thing in that way. But I wonder if women still, you're kind of saying this, I think, where you're not thinking about it on a daily basis. You're not even, it's not even in front of your brain at all. But you still want that a little, right? Don't you still kind of want a man that will take care of you? These are
just different forms of showing your love. And I think that everyone wants love in some way, and these are just different ways of doing it. Some of them are more protective, some of them are more just sweet things to do. Like the next one is just sweet. I wouldn't say it's like anti-independent women or whatever. I mean, who doesn't want to feel like someone loves you? And these are just ways of showing it.
But what I'm saying is I think that these are a little bit above that, though, and where they're more kind of protective, too.
No.
They're not just showing love. No, not filling up the gas tank. The walking outside of you on the sidewalk, the opening the door. These are two things that you, again, you're an adult, you can handle yourself.
That's why some of these are now outdated.
Right.
That's why some of these I'm like, I wouldn't think about that. Not that like I wouldn't appreciate it now since it's in front of me. I'm not like, oh, well, if someone did that and they were like, oh no, I want to protect you, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
Right.
It would be weird to me, and I wouldn't be offended. I wouldn't like be turned off. It just isn't something that is a part of my mentality.
And this is something where I picture like in the 50s.
Yeah. Like a necessity.
The woman wouldn't walk with you until you were on the right side.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
it
was expected.
Right.
And it was almost like you were being rude if you didn't do these things. And now it's almost the opposite. It's just it's exactly what you're saying. It's like, well, it's nice you did it. Don't care if you do or don't, but it's nice you did. You know, it's not a big deal.
Right. And by me saying I don't necessarily need to have you walk on my left side or whatever it is.
Mm.
By me saying it doesn't mean that I am against all forms of romanticism or forms of affection. Like, I don't mean that. It's just different. So anyway,
I do like this kissing the forehead though is
sweet.
I just like what it says in the little description though. 'Cause it says, sure, if you're hoping to date someone and he does this, it can be a dreaded sign of sibling-like affection. Because if you do just like, okay, for instance, there's a girl I work with that's a great friend of mine. I absolutely love her, and like, I am attracted to her too. Like, she's an attractive girl, but like, she has a boyfriend, and I swear, just the other day at work, I don't know what we were doing, what we were talking about, but I just kind of like kissed her forehead and walked away. And don't get me wrong, I'm the not weirdo. No, hold on. There are guys at my work that kiss chicks on the cheek all the time. I think that's fucking creepy. But this is seriously, like, this is one of my very good friends. But I don't even know what the fuck we were doing. It was like, I walked away going, what did I just do? No, it wasn't weird. But I walked away going, like, why did I just do that?
Okay.
But it was like,
if one of my best guy friends did that to me, I don't think I would. I'd be like, oh, that was cute.
Right. You wouldn't think, because there's this, and this is my point. There's nothing sexual usually about a kiss on the forehead,
it's
you know?
Really sweet.
It's just, it's like, it's intimate maybe even, but it's not
sweet.
sexual or anything. But, I'll read the next line though. But if you're in a long-term relationship and your guy does this, it's a small gesture that can make you feel adored. And I think there is something to that too. Like, if I'm in a long-term relationship and you're at a ball game or something, you might not necessarily, like, you might just kiss her on the forehead, you know, because you don't want to go PDA on it and like make out at a ball game. So it might just be kind of like, hug her, you love you, kind of thing.
I mean, yeah.
It can be both, I guess is what I'm saying.
It can be like a really intense form of affection too.
Right.
And like certain times, it's like very, very intimate thing to do.
Yes. And it can be, right, it can be
sweet,
romantic.
It can be cute. It can be like,
but again, not sexual. But yes,
no,
it can be romantic.
Sexual.
It's
never sexual.
Yes, agreed.
That's kind of interesting.
Isn't it?
It's not sexual at all.
I'm picturing myself, and I'm trying to think, like, in the act, are you ever kissing the forehead? Ever. It never happens. Ever.
Well, you did it.
Ever.
Just don't obsess over it.
Well, I'm just trying to think of what, But what's interesting about that is that it's...
Were you kind of drunk?
Huh?
Were you drunk?
No, I'm saying I never have done it.
Oh.
Within the act. Because I'm trying to picture, like, what you wouldn't do that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about... I thought you were remembering when you did it to your friend.
Oh, no. No, I'm thinking of during sex.
It's never.
Kissing.
It's never happened.
Either person doing it.
It's never happened immediately before, during, or after for me. Or immediately after. Because
it's so weird. Why? Well, you know what though? This is why. Because if you just had sex and the guy kisses you on the forehead, you're pissed. You're like, what the fuck just happened? It would be so awkward and weird.
Because it's not
You'd be like, are we buddies?
Kiss.
Yes.
It's a romantic kiss. It's like, it's a caring kiss, and it's a cute kiss. It's not a sexual kiss.
We're already
because there's no like, oh my god, we are.
Yeah. Time flies when you start having
talked about
fun.
Today?
Nothing. It's kind of like last night ended up being the same where we're like, did we actually have topics? All right, let's get the last ones in here. And again, these are supposed to be things that make a girl's heart melt.
Okay.
Filling your gas tank?
I don't care.
What the I've never even, like, that's, like, it's actually, I mean, it's a nice gesture, I guess.
Sure.
That could be a really nice thing to do for somebody.
It's nice to do for anyone.
Right.
Like
if you borrow anyone's car, or even if you you're driving on the date or something.
No, it means if you're driving, if you're in the car together, and you're the one that's driving your car, and he's like, oh no, I'll get out and I'll fill it for you because it's cold or whatever.
Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. I was
It's
saying
more
almost
like
more
a
just like buying you the
convenience
gas tank.
No, it's
but
like,
you're right.
You sit in the car, I'll fill it up for you, because it's just like you have to get out and you have to fill it. But it's just it's just a hassle.
I guess
it's like getting rid of the hassle for them. But that's a nice thing to do for anyone.
Correct, and I think I've done that.
Like if I was driving and my friend was like, oh no, you're driving, let me get out and do it for you.
Yeah.
It would be nice for guys or girls.
Well, yeah. Road trip. The last 2 road trips I took to Milwaukee, I'm pretty sure at least at one point, one of the people in the car said, "I'll pump, you go pay." Like
sure.
it's just normal, yeah.
Yeah,
and it's just
fine.
people. It's not a romantic thing.
Right.
All right, and like I said, we're almost running out of time here. With putting your jacket on, I actually do think there's something to that.
Yeah, I think that's
Putting
really
it on for you and taking it off. What about like pulling out your chair and putting it in for you? All that stuff. Are you into that?
Yeah, I've had people do that. I'm like, oh, that's
Is that
sweet.
sweet? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sweet. It's really nice. It's polite. It's whatever. It's not super necessary. I wouldn't think about it if you didn't do it. But if you're gonna do it, I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, good for you.
I think that's how most of the things are on that list, and I wonder if that means anything. You know what I mean? Does that matter? That chivalry may be dying? Does that matter?
I think.
Or is it just the rise of feminism?
The way that we show our love to people is just changing. That's all.
It's just evolution.
It's evolution.
God, we'll end it on that deep note. So we're back together, both shows next week, right?
Yeah.
All right. So next Wednesday, Burger Mo's, our farewell show from Burger Mo's before we head into the Alive and Social studios. You got to come see it. It's so cool.
Excited.
It's so cool. I love what we've got going on with the Alive and Social network. Check out all the shows. Go to aliveandsocial.com. That's where all the other shows, Jeff Dubé, Jim Suhan, Rusty Gate and V, everybody else that's on the network. Go check it out. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Tweet at us, MK Burke and McGov Podcast.
Please. We'd love to hear from you. And, let us know if you think we're idiots for anything we said. I'm sure there's plenty of people that think I am, so I'd love to hear from you. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you.